The anime ref will now take the field. He's read the books, he knows the lore, he's flagging scenes you can't ignore. Yellow flag up, they nailed the vibe, went beyond the page, took it up a stride. Red flag flying, oh no, they missed. Cut a course scene and now he's pissed. Did they fumble the plot or score a win? Let's see how faithful this show has been.
Hello YouTube, it's the Anime Ref here, and we are back with the next episode of Slime Season 4, Episode 2. First episode was off to a bang. They did a great job opening the season and actually putting in a lot of material from the books. I am very impressed. They've definitely learned since the early days of the adaptation on how to, keep a majority of the book in the show. Looking at you, Season 1, with your lack of Volume 3. Regardless, it's time to see where we move from here. Lots of crazy ways to just open the season. Remind us that Rimuru made a school in Tempest, and that he moved Shizu's students, and the fact that Hinata wanted to be a teacher, that was actually pretty cool. Tis basically also moved from Ingracia to Tempest as well. So that's another W, and she keeps being a cool background character that keeps proving my point that those OVAs are canon. Duh. And yes, before anyone points at me and goes, "Oh, but Tis wasn't there in the novels." Okay. She's not one of those novel canon characters because the author didn't think to world build a school. Tis is an invention of the anime because they wanted to flesh out the school in Ingracia. And thus became just a character that exists. Because you're not about to delete a character from existence just because they weren't in the source material when all you're doing is world building. When this series excels at the world building. So Tis aside, great opening episode. Lots of great stuff went down. And this is the anime's last chance. This is the anime's last chance to introduce my two favorite characters in the series. They're basically a pair at this point, a package deal. If I get one, I better get the other. Where are the bugs? Where are they? Because, I keep looking, and I keep picturing it now. When they get to the material that they are relevant for, and if they don't set them up properly, people are going to complain that they were literally introduced out of nowhere. And I don't like that because the easiest solution is to introduce them now, like they're supposed to be. Enough. This intro is going on for way too long. I'm sorry. Next time you see me will be the post-episode discussion. And cut. Alrighty, post-episode discussion time, and I hate to say this. The first time I'm giving an episode the red flag, not even just for like a single moment or anything, I genuinely feel like this episode needs the red flag. Why'd it have to be Slime of all shows that would get a full red flag? Well, the answer's simple. I asked for something very simple last episode. Something that I was hoping the show was gonna do, the anime version. And the anime literally was like, I bet, and decided to do the stupidest way of doing it. So, I should just talk about this right now, because the rest of the episode, aside from that moment, was great. The action with Team Lightspeed and then Team Green Fury, introducing them, getting over all the issues with the dungeon and the loopholes with the labyrinth, as well as Hinata's rampage, as much as I have a moment I want to rag on. If you saw the thumbnail, you know what I mean. But, we got to witness her and Veldora clash, which is actually kind of a very important battle. So showing it is kind of crucial for something that's going to happen later. And by later, I mean something that's actually coming up if the anime is getting where I think it is. So it's going to be relevant again relatively soon. The fact that we're almost there already is amazing, though. Regardless, like everything, like Malim showing up, bringing back Gobta and Ranga, and I think Gobta's voice actor changed, but it might be because they want him to grow and to mature and get a deeper voice. I'm telling you, I can tell. Season 4 Gobta is not Season 1 Gobta's voice. It's either the same voice actor that's maturing, or they got somebody else. If you want to answer that in the comments down below, go right ahead. But, and then Rimuru with his invention of the avatars, those monsters. They're going to take on Green Fury. Cool. Post-credit scene of them losing to rookies and being like, we need to grind. Cool. Like, 90% of this episode is the yellow. And I'm giving it the red out of pettiness, and I am admitting to it because this is a Season 4. They don't have an excuse anymore for cutting Apito and Zijin. They have no excuse. Season 1 was a rocky production in terms of they didn't even know if they were going to get any more. Season 2 had the baggage of carrying stuff that wasn't in Season 1. And then Season 3 decides to skimp out a little, and I brought this up before, of not including them. And the final straw that broke the camel's back was this episode. They didn't have to. They could have just cut her again. But no, they decided, yeah, let's put Apito in one frame that's just going to be on screen for a couple seconds and not explain anything. If I read the book correctly, wasn't Hinata versus Apito a little more evenly matched? Not a one-sided beatdown? Gosh. And they have the audacity in the episode to do the Adelman stuff for buffing the Labyrinth, but not to acknowledge the insects? By the way, no Kumara in sight either. Where'd she go? Like, I am being serious. The Labyrinth is going to have a major role later, and you kind of need to set up the 12 Dungeon Lords. They can't keep getting away with this. Aside from everything else I've talked about, that this is a disgrace. This episode has just bummed me out, man. Because what are anime-only people watching this episode seeing? They see a background character, they don't question it, and they move on. Not realizing that character kind of has some importance later. And the anime's not setting them up. Rimuru, you gotta help me, man. What's the point of characters like Apito or Zijin if you're not gonna set them up properly? Foreshadowing. Show scenes of them. It just has to be 5 minutes or less. You don't even have to do it a lot. Just do it once. The people who care will care. I return to recording videos to this. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you liked it. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the video with a friend. Make sure you join the Patreon so you don't miss what happens over there. And speaking of being notified, keep your notifications on because, as always, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.